Leading our bulletin, Home Affairs Deputy Minister Lindokuhle Xulu and KZN Premier Sihle are visiting flood-affected KwaDukuza residents. Many lost important documents during the disaster, and Home Affairs will be helping them acquire new ones. Lindokuhle Xulu is there with more on the story. Good morning, Lindokuhle. Just take us through Minister Xulu's program today there in KwaDukuza.
Well, the program is quite simple. Sorry about that. We do understand that the Deputy Lindokuhle Xulu was here before and in many other areas to actually enable people to apply for their lost ID documents as well as birth certificates, all sorts of things that you can think of. And this is now a return to say we are here to bring back some of the documents that were applied for to enable more actually getting. And as you can see, at the point in time, it's just a meet and greet. They are looking at the operations they've set up in many of these places. We are currently at Lindelani Hall in Stenga, where there is, some victims that are sheltered at this community hall. And so you are seeing now that it's just a matter of walking about, getting a briefing in terms of the progress when it comes to the reissuing of some of those lost documents. And the Premier is joined there by the Deputy Minister to just monitor some of the things, some of the interventions, as well as the Mayor of KwaDukuza, just getting a sense really of how these mobile places are working. So this is basically to go back and say they are here to in fact inspect as well as to hand over those that have successfully went through the process of getting their identity documents. We will try and perhaps get a sense of speaking to the Premier as well as the Deputy Minister. They are just taking a walkabout right now, so we'll just step outside to also allow some of their colleagues to actually be able to capture this. But there is that process, as you can see. One of the people is already inside here trying to get those identity documents. I should mention as well that of how were lost, that process was in fact free, as long as the councillors would have coordinated particular have lost some of the identity. Try to speak to Deputy Minister of Home Affairs as well as Ubaba Deputy Minister with you in terms of this particular visit. This is a return. You have been here before. You've been working with the province to bring relief in a form of those reissuing of identity documents to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Just give us a sense in terms of how this has been going and how many people really have come forward to say they've lost all of their documents.
Well, we are working in 3 sites today. The sites where we had came before and collected information so that we can be able to give people enabling documents. Now, today we are giving back to more than 40 people, I think about 46 of them who had applied for their identity documents. We are here to hand over those identity documents. You will remember that this is a process where we offer the documents for free because they were affected by disaster. We're still going to go to Chelimnyama, we're still going to go to Ntuzuma as well, where we're also going to issue documents out today. This has been a quick turnaround times because we had to make sure that we prioritize them so that with their lives. Without identification, they will not have been able, they are not going to be able to access banking services, social services. So this is a very important enabling document for them able to continue with their lives.
All right, we do know that the people that have been affected by these floods run into the thousands, but I'm almost hearing a 40-something number in terms of the turnaround here, those that you'll be issuing today. Is this based on this particular center alone? What is the scope of work in terms of the number of IDs that you have to produce?
6 is only for this site, running into the ones that we had actually on. Going to stop up. We have serviced everybody who is affected by disaster. Remember, what we do is that we work with the disaster management centers. They tell us this is the list of people who have been affected. From there we go we take the applications and then come back and issue. So all those who have been affected by the disaster and they lost their documents will be able to give them their documents.
Quite important, sorry, Deputy Minister, is the fact that you said that this is a process that is free. Obviously, councillors would have to coordinate that, but perhaps just to repeat in terms of that a free service to the people of KwaZulu-Natal that were affected by the floods. Just reiterate that process, because we do know that it starts from their local councillors, but it escalates in that regard.
Yes, we have lists that we received. Firstly, it is declared a disaster. We then move in, we request disaster management centers to tell us how many people are affected. Out of those people, then we take a decision that those who are affected will offer the service for them for free. The local councillors, as you can see today, we are here with the mayors from Ilembe as well as Lindokuhle, who work with the local councillors, who then tell us these are the lists of people who need our assistance because they've been involved in a disaster. We then take the applications, and the rest, as you can see today, we are here with the Premier to then issue those documents so that we can really display and give hope to the people that they can still continue with their lives.
All right, let me just bring in the Premier here while we have. Thank you so much also for speaking to us. Perhaps let's just get a sense from you. We've seen various head of departments coming into KwaZulu-Natal. We know that Ubabu Mbalula is also here from the Department of Transport. But in terms of those responses, in terms of them coming here, are you seeing any significant moves that we are seeing today in terms of fixing some of the damage that was caused, respective of these departments?
Well, in line with the district development model, where the national government work with the province and the district as well as local, we are able to ensure we provide services in a way that makes impact. Last week, the Deputy Minister started the process of ensuring that those people who lost their documents are registered. Right today, we are bringing those documents. We're bringing IDs. 1,553 IDs have been processed for the KwaZulu-Natal people who have been affected. And that shows that we are making impact. Minister Mbalula is here today. We are already working on ensuring that we augment areas that have been affected, so that by the end of this week, some of the roads are open. We were in the south of Durban, around areas of Umkababa, and Minister Mbalula is continuing with that, together with MEC Nkonyeni. We went to the south. Today they are here in the northern part of Durban and in KwaDukuza. So yes, there is a significant contribution from national departments, but it is affirming that if we coordinate together, we can make huge impact.
Yesterday we were with the Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, and he spoke about issues of budget, saying that this reprioritization of departments to actually move their monies to fixing the damage is delaying in terms of some of the plans that they had. And he said he was lambasting the fact that monies have not been given to departments to deal specifically with this, and hence, speaking about the reprioritization. What's your response on that?
We cannot lambast departments. When you declare the state of disaster, the affected municipality must conduct assessment. And that assessment must be conducted by people who have knowledge of that affected area. So that knowledge will be coming from scientists, engineers, who will say this is a bridge that is affected, this is a water plant that is affected, this is what has been affected, this is what needs to be done, and this is the amount needed. They are the ones who generate that report. We consolidate the report and give to the national government. Already today or tomorrow we will be signing off a report that consolidate the damage in the whole province, and that will be then processed to the national government.
All right, here's the last question from myself. In terms of climate change and pollution, they're saying that those are the important discussions that need to be discussed so that we mitigate in terms of this damage for future generations. And one of the things that was talked about was the sanitation network that was damaged. According to the Deputy Mayor, it's about 80% in eThekwini, and all of the sanitation waste is moving towards the streams and all of that at this particular moment. Just talk to us about that, and what is the worry really, because it means that each and every day, every moment someone flashes, this is going to where it's not supposed to go.
Yes, that is a problem. Sanitation need to be, the infrastructure need to be improved. It need to be improved in a way that talks to ensure that the treatment plants are always maintained, but it also needs us to educate people on what they need to do and how to protect their infrastructure. Because you find that people will put anything that block the pipes and cause unnecessary damage. So the issue of understanding waste management, the climate change, even how do you deal with the waste that you manage on daily basis. Those are basic things that we need to ensure. But it also includes that we must educate people on where to reside and where not to build residential homes. We are working on that. We have a Climate Change Council which will be helping us to ensure that we upscale the campaign.
All right, Premier, let's leave it there for now, not hold you any longer. That's the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, as well as Deputy Minister Njabulo Nzuza from Home Affairs, that are essentially here to hand over some of the IDs from the applicants who had applied before. At the same time, you will be seeing them actually giving some of the people who applied birth certificates as well, some of the important documents that would be handed over here. So those are some of the things that will be happening. But today is just a program moving from one community center, from one hall, from one shelter to another, that they give out those IDs so that resuming their lives in terms of actually, progressing with those banking requirements, with those applications. Some are ID documents in terms of all of those documents.
All right, Lindokuhle, unfortunately our connection to you there is a bit difficult, but thank you very much. That's our reporter, Lindokuhle Xulu there, just following Deputy Minister of Home Affairs Njabulo Nzuza. I must say, quite commendable the speed with which they've gone on to issue these documents. I mean, just last week we were following the Deputy Minister, and now they are in fact issuing. One would say that they've given practical meaning to a state of disaster, that you move differently when you've got such a disaster. To this now.